Hi again, welcome back. This is episode number 3 of the Divine Expansive Podcast. Welcome. This is so cool. It's so cool. I'm happy to be continuing to do this. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Is have my own podcast, and I've been encouraged by several people, amazing people in my life. And so here we are continuing on this journey together. You're with me on my journey, and I appreciate each and every person who whether you're tuning in for the first time or whether you've watched my other 2 episodes and you're here for number 3. I appreciate you truly, and I'm so grateful from the bottom of my heart. We are still in what I would like to call the hot mess stage of things. I think I called my first episode the messy launch. And it just is that right now, I don't know where it's going to go or where it's going to take me or what it will evolve to. But at this point, everything you're seeing, there's no edits or anything like that. I think the only thing that I ever do sometimes is just edit out the beginning where I turn the camera on or when I turn it off. Makes for a little bit more smoothness, but yeah, I'm not into editing, and it's not really my thing. Maybe it's something that I will learn how to do later. But I will say this, I'm one of those never say never type people. And let me tell you why. Let me give you a quick little rundown on why. It seems like over the years, it doesn't seem like it is what it has been over the years. There's a lot of things that I've been in resistance to. Resistance, I swear every episode I make, there's something where I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a whole topic we could go into. There's a rabbit hole that is so deep that I would absolutely love to take you down to visit. Well, we ain't going there right now. So I have been in resistance to a lot of things in my life. And it turns out that looking back, just about everything that I've been in complete and utter resistance to the point where people would say something to me about it and I'd be like, ugh, why? Why would I ever do that? That's the most horrible thing anybody could ever do. I will never. Everything I've said that to, I've ended up doing. And the funniest part about it, the most ironic, it's both funny, ironic, and funny, haha, is that I've been good at all of those things. I've enjoyed them. There was a lot of, there was a lack of self-awareness for me in a lot of ways that, it led to me being in a space where people could see things in me that I wasn't able to see in myself. And it went that way for a long time. So now I'm in a place where I can see it, even if I don't see it. If someone's like, oh my gosh, you would be great at blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, my first thought, the instinct, the little tiny first half a second, millisecond that comes up is like, ugh. But then I shifted and I'm like, never say never. So it's kind of been my motto in life lately. But what I would like to do today is another oracle card reading, a collective oracle card reading. Last time I felt like it went really well. I felt good about it. I got some pretty good feedback about that whole scenario. So I thought, let's do it again. Why not? This time I'm going to use a different deck. It is a new deck to me. And what was interesting to me about this particular oracle deck, I didn't realize this when I bought it, but they are very similar to tarot cards. Now, I'm not really well versed on tarot cards. It's something, I'll eventually learn about. That is one of those things that a while ago, like when I first got on my spiritual journey, I was like, oh, those seem so negative. I never want to do tarot cards. I'm just going to do oracle cards. Bitch. Okay, that's me talking to myself. Bitch. I'm still not there yet, but I'm open to it. And I think these cards, actually, these new ones I just bought, might be a good segue for me. So what was interesting to me about the cards is that they were a little bit cryptic. And I was just like, okay, oracle cards tend to be somewhat self-explanatory in my experience so far, my limited experience. But yeah, I thought that they were a little bit cryptic. All of the cards come with the booklet. Let me show you the deck first. what I have here is the energy oracle cards. I am not using a front-facing camera, so I don't know whether you can see that or not. I can only hope that you can. But these are the energy oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. They're beautiful. I absolutely love them. I have an obsession with just prettiness of oracle cards. So most decks, actually I think all decks, come with a book. And, one of these whole deals where it's got all the information in it about the card that the author wrote up. And I have to say that this particular book was a little bit difficult for me. She wrote it in a sense of duality, I think. And I don't tend to look at the duality in the same sense as she does. So we just have a different viewpoint on the duality of it. So it made it difficult for me to really look at this book. But I do the card readings intuitively anyway, so I don't tend to use the book. But that proved to be a little bit of a challenge for me with these particular cards, since they are a little bit cryptic. So we're going to go in. We are going to see what happens. And yeah, this is a collective reading. I've already had a bunch of cards just jump out of the deck, and I'll have to pick those up. But I'm clearing the energy of the cards first. I'm clearing my own energy so that whatever comes up is unbiased and nothing that I'm dealing with in my energy field will interfere in what comes up. I would highly suggest, if you would like, to take a deep breath at this point also, so that whatever might resonate with you can resonate most clearly. So, taking a breath. And release. Good. Now that I have shuffled the cards, I'm going to cut the deck. I'm going to go ahead and pick up these jumper cards. I think we'll use the jumper cards as bonus, and I'm going to go ahead and pull 3 cards anyway from the top of the deck. Picking up the cards here. All right, so these are the ones that fell on the floor. They're a bonus. I'm going to set them aside. And I'm going to pull 3 off the top. The 3 cards I pull will represent past, present, and future. And again, this is a collective reading. So this will have to do with just the earth. Sometimes it'll be the earth. Sometimes it'll be issues of society, things that society is going through, and anything in between. Just anything having to do with people as a whole and our connection to each other on the planet. All right. Card number 1. This is our past card. This is our present card. And this is our future card. Okay. For the past. Actually, let's look at our jumpers first. Let's see what they have to tell us. So these are the 2 jumper cards that fell. On top, we have strategy. I really hope you can see that. Strategy. All right, this particular card is new to me, so I'm taking a look at it here. Journal. I need better lighting, I'll be honest with you. Journal log. Okay. So this card has like a feather. What do you call those feather pens? There's no one here for me to ask. Why am I asking? Like, you can answer through the screen. The feather pens that people would write with way back in the day, where you dip it in the ink and you like write with it, the feather. Quill? It's called a quill? Okay. Strategy. So this has journal log. I do like this because I love to journal myself. And honestly, journaling is a beautiful way to get to a good space of understanding and of clarity of your own thoughts. So I highly recommend it. I'm going to go ahead and use this card as an opportunity to suggest to you to journal. If anything, you can write down anything that comes to you. That's called a brain dump, where you just start writing. You free write anything that comes to your mind. It doesn't matter what it is, and don't stop till you feel ready to stop. Don't think about it. Don't judge it. Just write. Suggestion: request protection from your guides or higher guidance or whatever you use in that manner. And that's the best way for you to do that. Okay, and for our second jumper card, we have envy. This is super interesting. Okay, so to give you a little bit of an explanation of what's happening here with the cards, as I stated, I look at them intuitively, and whatever comes to me intuitively is what I have a tendency to share. So this card I got an instant intuitive download on. It's interesting to me because there's a woman who is in dark clothing and she's standing in darkness and she's looking out to an area that looks to be very lit and, sunny and warm and bright. And it looks kind of cold where she is. So envy is something that I know a lot of us experience, especially in today's society. Personally, I blame social media for a lot of it. And you can't necessarily blame a person per se for what they post on their social media. I mean, some people are malicious, or some people are just posting fun things, or whatever it is whatever it is. The thing about it is that so many of us will look at the things that are being posted on social media, whether it's from a friend or a family or acquaintance, someone that we know that we are friends with or follow on a certain social media medium, or whether it's influencers or celebrities. Most people post the good things. They post only the great things that are happening in their lives and the things that they want to share and that they want people to know about. That's natural. It makes sense. If you have something horrible happen, most people don't want to share that with the world. So it's fair. But what it leads to for many of us is an illusion that this person who's posting all of these awesome, amazing things every day has a perfect life. And a lot of times that leads to envy. You begin to envy. Oh my gosh, this person's life is so great. Why isn't my life more like theirs? I think that there is a sense of almost a psychological epidemic of that happening in our world right now. So you're standing in your dark corner, whatever it is you might be going through. Let me remind you that whatever it is, whether it's dark or not, it's happening for you. There's something for you in it, a lesson for you to learn. But you're sitting there in your dark space, trying to figure out what's happening in your life, maybe feeling a little bit lost. And you see all these people posting all these wonderful things, and you're looking out at all of the beautiful brightness and sunniness that's all around you. And you're like, what's wrong with me? Why am I not getting those things? The thing about it is that you don't know what's happening behind closed doors. You don't know what darkness other people are going through. Every single person on this planet goes through some sort of dark times or some sort of lull or some sort of dip where they're just not feeling like themselves or just not feeling fulfilled and joyful. We can't all feel that way 24/7 and 100% of the time. So it's important to remember, and I feel like this is an important reminder that no matter how dark the space feels that you're in currently, the light's coming. And it's most important for you to not compare yourself to other people. Love yourself, love where you are, realize that there is a lesson in what's happening and it is happening for you, and let go of what everybody else is doing. So this is my message for that card of envy. Okay, those were our 2 jumper cards. Those were cool. Those were really interesting and cool. Now, on to the reading. So the first card I'm picking up here, these are the 3 cards that I pulled from the deck. The first card that I pulled off the top was the past, representing the past, remembering that this is a collective reading. This card is the Temple Path. The Temple Path. What do we know about temples? What do temples represent? Temples are sacred. I want to call it that. Temples are sacred. It's sacred places where people go to worship or to feel closer to God in whatever manner that is. It doesn't have to be something religious and not even necessarily spiritual, but whatever the higher power you believe in, many people go to a temple. temples are something, as I'm thinking about this and viewing it from a past perspective, temples were something, the place where people were invited to worship, right? And oftentimes in long time ago, like the times, ancient times, thousands of years ago, there was a sense of controlling masses with the temples. I would say that in today's society, there are a lot of other ways that are kind of mirroring what temples were initially when there was a controlling of the masses that was happening. That's not always the case now, but in the past, it was a big thing. So learning from the controlling of the masses and what that did to people and how it brought things about, I think that getting back to what it was originally supposed to be before the masses were being controlled by what was happening in the temples were sacred. We need to look at our past and find what's sacred. You can separate out those negative things that started to come from what used to be sacred. That's what I'm feeling for this temple card. Okay, that was past. Present card is financial constraints. This is interesting also. All right, I really need better lighting in this room. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Financial constraints. This is a big one for the present moment. We ain't going to talk about the cost of eggs right now. There's some financial constraints behind that. And just food in general and inflation and all of the things. A lot of people are feeling financial constraints at the moment. I want to take a look at this card and see what is on it. It's a little bit hard to make out, honestly, what's happening here, but there's a door. There is a door. It's a big, heavy door, and it's open. The room that's behind it appears to be empty, but there also appears to be something that's behind that area. Only half of the room is empty. There's treasure. Financial, okay. Here's it. This is what I'm getting. Financial abundance is available to everyone. And that's something you might have heard a lot of spiritual gurus say. But you also have to remember that financial abundance means something different to each and every person on this planet. There's people who, maybe have lived in poverty their whole lives. So financial abundance for them might be just no longer having to live from paycheck to paycheck, no longer having to worry where their next meal is coming from. There's so many different levels of financial abundance. Right now, I think a lot of people are feeling that financial constraint. And what it's coming from is a belief in an attitude of lack. So what I would like to suggest around this financial constraint card is to take a look at what financial abundance means for you and to you. What does it mean? Ask some questions. Don't ask yourself the questions. Ask the questions to your higher self. What would it mean for you to be financially abundant? What else is possible for you in the realm of financial abundance? Let go of the constraints and start to look at what is possible surrounding abundance right now. There's a lot going on that make us all feel like we might have those constraints. But it's not important. It really isn't. Your mindset and how you view it is what's important, and that's what's going to shift it for you should you choose to move forward with that idea. What does financial abundance mean to you, and what else is possible for you around financial abundance? Present moment. Past. Oh, wait, we already did the past. We're in the future. What am I going backwards for? Somebody get me on the right track here. Future. Our future card, the last card. Wow. Cornucopia. So let me just start by being honest and saying to you that I don't know particularly what the word cornucopia means. That's something that I'm going to have to look up in the dictionary and probably put in the notes. Regardless, we're going to take a look at this card and I'm going to see what intuitive downloads come in for me. Anything, with opia at the end of it, to me always has a sense of just beauty and something that is inviting. The fruits of your labor. So if we take a look at this from past to present to future with these cards today, I love this. I absolutely love it. So let's start at the temple path. We're looking in the past. We look at what the temple used to be. It used to just be a divine place of worship for people to go before it became something to control the masses. So we look back at that. We learn from the masses being controlled. We learn that what it used to be was a place for us to worship the divine. And it's so important to view it from that viewpoint again, to look at getting back to that, because what that's going to bring us to is financial abundance. Our present card was financial constraints. We want to get rid of those financial constraints. The financial constraints are actually a result of the controlling of the masses at this point, if you look at it from that viewpoint. And it's a shifting of the mindset to view things in a sense of abundance as opposed to constraint. We've been taught to look at things from a mindset of lack, and it's time for us all to start shifting that lack mindset to a mindset of abundance. Now, once we're able to do that and we get to a place from the financial constraints we have right now to shifting to abundance, that brings us to a beautiful place, this cornucopia, whatever cornucopia means. I still gotta look that up. Okay. And it looks, honestly, from the card and from my interpretation of the card and what I'm feeling in my gut, my intuition from this card is that this card is about the fruits of our labor. We find financial abundance. And from that financial abundance, we bring to fruition all the things that we ever wanted and needed. Now, this is represented by food and an abundance of good food that is available for us. But fruit, it's fruit. So the symbolism is the fruit of your labor. So all of these things, these cards, the information, whatever it is, intuitive downloads and stuff that I'm getting from these cards, none of this really means shit. This is just ideas. It's ideas. And people who are looking to shift their mindset, if you are a person who is looking to find the positive things in life, to pull yourself out of the rut or the dip or the low, whatever you're in right now, to find a positive mindset and turn things around in your life, this is just some silly tool to help you figure out how to shift it around. That's what I have fun doing. I do this for myself constantly, and I've changed a lot of things in my life simply by changing my mindset, by shifting the way that I look at it, by seeing a different perspective and allowing myself to realize that things happen for me as opposed to happening to me, moving myself out of a victimhood mindset and into a mindset of a growth, of a person who wants to grow, who wants to be better, who wants to thrive instead of surviving. All of the masses, the controlling of the masses, I'm trying to say, those are things that put us all in a space of survival. A lot of us are going around in fight, flight, or freeze. Our nervous systems are haywire because of the things that are happening in the world right now. And it really is a deliberate choice to shift the way that you look at it. You have to go within. There ain't shit you can do about what's happening in the world as far as the controlling of the masses. You can't change that. You can, but the only way for you to change that is to go within yourself, change the way you view it, change the way you see it, learn how to be an example for the people around you so that they can change the way that they see it. We are all connected. There is a collective connection for all of us. You feel energy when you go anywhere. So think about that. If you can feel the energy when you walk into a room, what does that mean? That means that the energy is infinite. That means that the energy is all over the place. That means that the energy is connected to you as well as the other people. And energy knows no time or space. It doesn't. So these are thoughts. These are just my thoughts. If you couldn't tell by now, I have a lot of them. Thank you so much to anyone who has been around since episode 1. Oh, hey, we're on episode 3. Can you believe it? I can't. I'm excited though. I'm very happy. So thank you. I love you. I really, truly do. And I appreciate you. And I believe in you. And if you are here to change your mindset and to shift things around for yourself, I'm here for it. That's what I'm doing. So let's do this together. Okay. Love you. Bye.